right. Good morning, everyone. We'll be working here, going through, I'll call it a software demo, although it's a lot more than that. I'm just going to go through a kind of a demonstration of layering some software. Once again, not all completely shareware, but I will point you out to the ones that are the equivalents. Particularly, I'm using Camtasia and the software that's shared. It would either be Jing or Cam Studio, both out of the same software house in Livonia, Michigan. Got to support the Midwest, they tell me. And I'm using also something called Smoothboard, which has been around a while. It's for those of you who have a Wiimote that want to kind of make your TV kind of a cool computer for you, or you got kids in school. This Smoothboard software is good for making the Wii be an input device for your computer, but it's also good as just an annotator. So we're going to try that out. So right now I've got this. I'll show you the Smoothboard out here, and I've got the last piece of software which you're going to see repetitively, and that is Geometer's Sketchpad. It's just a tool. It's not the class, but it is a way to combine graphics and math in a very straightforward way. So Smoothboard looks like that. I'm going to push that off to the side here, and I'm going to see if I can actually annotate what I'm going to do and talk about it. And so what we're going to do through here is we're just going to go through literally drawing a circle, and I just got a flashed unregistered from the smoothboard.net. It's 29 bucks, probably worth it, and I'll buy it soon. All right, so what is the kicker here? The kicker is we're going to draft this, and I'm going to do this in annotation. Given x equals, x1 equals 50, and x2 equals minus 20, and y1 equals 20, and y2 is a reflection of y1, or in other words, it equals about the x-axis, or y2 equals minus 20. So that's basically what we're going to start with, the ability of graphing. So, and we're going to do it here first. What you see I'm doing here, this is not attached to a coordinate system, it's just an annotator. So what I'm going to kind of do is I'm going to sketch it here, and I'm going to be working pretty hard. I see this unregistered smoothboard.net. I'm going to have to drop that 29 bucks down, but I'm going to just draw a set of coordinate systems here, without any of the tools, and I'm going to graph 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Again, most of you can do this faster in AutoCAD, I hope, or SketchUp, or Sketchpad eventually, minus 20. And in this case, 50, 10, 20. I'm going to put a point here. In this case, it's right there. Now, here's what the problem statement's going to look like mathematically. Given those 2 points on a circle, draw the circle, describe the circle, and then use the circle to solve some pretty important engineering problems. Those are combined stresses. So basically how we go about drawing a circle, once we've got 2 points on the circles, we draw a diameter. We'll do this with a compass, I think, because if any of you didn't have it in geometry, you figure out the perpendicular bisector, so that, or you figure out the center point of the circle, then you draw a circle around here, right? So pretty rough, right? So that's how that would work, on a rough board. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to change this, and I'm going to just change the annotation to navigation now. So now all of a sudden, I'm now in this program. So I'm going to leave this board up here, and there it is, register now. They really don't want me to use this without paying for it, so we're going to buy it. I swear to God, I'm going to buy 2, unfortunately. unregistered net. So we're going to leave that around one more time, see if it's going to, he definitely wants us to buy this software. But we'll just kind of go around this for a little bit. Buy smoothboard.net. He stole, I'm sorry, he or she, the organization, actually grabbed this from Johnny Lee at Carnegie Mellon. But it's a pretty good software, and it's stable, and it's, you know, we'll give it a roll here for a couple of weeks in class, and then I'll have to buy the software, it would appear. All right, so it's an unregistered version. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to draft this circle by turning on, first off, the grid. And once I've got that grid, I can push this down here, and, you know, because I've got to get it large enough, all right, I can graph it based on these. I could go right now and take a point here and go right there, and it's approximate, and then another point and go right there. Now these flashing things are starting to remind me of X10 technology. So I've got 2 points there, and then I'm going to hold Shift key, hold the 2, and then I can construct a segment, I guess. That'll work. And I can construct a midpoint, and then I can construct, sorry, if I grab that and grab this, and I can construct circle by center and point. And I've got really a mathematical representation. What this program is about, and I did these close, they're not exact, is this program, many programs, but this one particularly at $30 for 3 transferable license amongst your family. If you've got kids, I'm going to go with best 30 bucks you'll spend. So I'm going to take that here. I'm going to hit now measure the equation, and there's the equation of that. Now that is the equation of that circle. Now we do this the first week in class in strength of materials, in highway construction materials. We do it again, we do it over again, because it starts to link you to graphical solutions. The mathematics of this we're not going to be worried about right now. You cover that in analytic geometry. And in the end, right now here, I'm going to go ahead and erase out the annotation, which is kind of cool. So I kind of like the software. And I'm going to go back now to navigation, especially if you got a, all right, so navigation here. And we've got, essentially, we now have to realize that, obviously he knows that this is where I want to be, so watch me trick him. I'm going to move this over here. Haha. So, we're going to use this, and we're going to now realize that X and Y aren't necessarily points on the earth, or X and Y at all. They're not in feet. They could be, in this case, the axial stress and the shear stress at any point in a square or a prism that's oriented in a structure under stress. So we'll talk about, for those of us who are at the top end of this, those of us who have had limits, we'll talk about the limit as delta x, delta y, and delta z go to 0. But for the rest of us, we'll talk about a little tiny cube. And the stresses in terms of axial and shear that are on that prism. Prism being a square, or I don't know, maybe it's not even the right word. So what we'll see now is that one of the great things about this program is we can now animate it and look at a lot of different stuff, but we're going to put a point on here, and we're going to now take that point, we're going to measure its coordinates, then there they are, and now we can take that point and we can animate it. And we're running out of time here, so we're going to go edit, display, we're going to animate the point, and we're going to watch how those things change. So this is going to be the segue into Mohr circle. But I did want to show you the software for those of you who are thinking about kitting out your computers, again, I'm looking for ones that you don't have to spend money on, but I will, if it looks at a reasonable cost. You're getting AutoCAD for free for about a year out of school from AutoCAD. So AutoCAD wants you to be successful, so they want you to not use their software for what it's not intended for.